And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. It is Monday. Yep, we're still here. It's not Tuesday yet, even with the time change. So we get a chance for a bonus show today. We've had the trifecta coming on. Our thanks to the group American Blonde for coming on. Natalia and Tinka, go check out their new album, Something in the Water, if you guys haven't checked it out. And of course, the legend country music, David Frizzell. That's right, the younger brother of Lefty Frizzell, the Country Music Hall of Fame. Check that out if you missed it at the sportsguyspodcast.com or on the YouTube channel. Anytime you get a chance to miss those shows, we do archive them out there. Thanks to our friends at Bangtail Whiskey. If you're looking for that holiday drink, bangtail.com or the Easy Liquor app's a good chance to get the bottle sent directly to your door. Bangtail Whiskey, the choice of my drink in my household for the upcoming holidays too. Well, I tell you what, I wasn't going to actually get out there. I didn't go to the parade today. Congratulations to our hometown Houston Astros on their second world title in 6 years, no doubt about it. And to do that, I had to talk about that and then some with her music because they took this fair and square, and she's doing it too since her American Idol days. Kate Watson joins us here on the Backstage Pass. Kate, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great mood. Ever since Saturday night, about 2 o'clock in the morning, fighting the traffic, and then getting back from Academy and buying all the swag. I'm gonna. I haven't stopped smiling. It's been a great couple of days. Winning the championship. I showed you some of the memorabilia before. I had to get out to Academy, as I encourage people to do that or order online because that gear is going quick.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
our boys earned it, no doubt. Well, hey, ever since the Idol journey, you've been busy, no doubt. And people that may not know, I know you still call Texas home. It's roots and everything. I guess for me, I know the entire story, but for people that don't, tell everybody your connection to music out there because I know there's a lot of different areas it takes. I mean, you're the daughter of a Christian recording artist and a worship leader, and so many cool things have happened with your dad in your life and being a huge part of your music. Tell everybody a little bit about the upbringing and the connection to music from a young age.
So I actually, I've moved 14 times in my entire life. And I grew up watching my parents in a band whenever I was young. They traveled all across Texas playing church camps, different shows. And it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, my mom plays the drums, and y'all, she rocks out like hardcore. Whenever I relate her to something, it's to Animal the Muppet, because she would do this really cool thing where she would like sling her hair as she's playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was cool to watch. And then my dad, he was the leader of the band, sang, played guitar, and is one of the most talented songwriters that I know. And any original song you guys hear of mine, he actually has had a big hand in helping write those. And so watching them, I remember like being super young, going with them any chance that I could, and
Mm-hmm.
I got to see music mean more to people than just words or notes or, just songs. Like it was something that was speaking to people on a whole nother level, which at 7 years old, you don't know how else to put that. But my parents are rock stars, and I want to be a rock star too whenever I grow up. And
Well, I've seen you play live, and I can tell you right now, it does rock out. You've got a little feel for what you do, so it's from someone who can speak on behalf of that. For people that may not have seen you play live, you got that little rock star inside of you, no doubt.
well, thank you. And, you know, watching that, and then also for people to I got to see my parents work hard and pursue something that they loved, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so I had that dream in me whenever I was little. But then life hit pretty hard. Moving that many times, I mean, I was the easy target for anybody at every single school. And I got severely bullied. I
Mm-hmm.
actually have a birthmark for anyone who doesn't know. My makeup's covering it up, but right here, it covers my entire eye and goes into my hair. It's bright pink,
Mm-hmm.
and every kid goes to the stage where you're a little chubby can of biscuits ready to bust, and you got a big head. And so, that was me, and I got bullied all the time. I mean, people called me fat, ugly,
Mm-hmm.
worthless, everything in the book. With my birthmark, they'd ask me if I had a disease or whatever else, and you know over time that kind of just it wrecks you on the inside. You don't realize until you're like, oh shoot, like my
Mm-hmm.
self-esteem out the window. And I hit rock bottom in my life. I started making bad choices, bad decisions, and I started believing everything that these people were saying about me, and
Mm-hmm.
the boxes they tried to create of Kate Watson, like this is who
Mm-hmm.
you are. And so luckily I have the parents that I do because they noticed. They sat me down. They had that come to Jesus meeting with me,
Hmm.
and they were like, "Hey, this stuff that you're doing is not you." And of course, like I didn't just flat out go, "Oh man, like y'all are right,"
Hmm.
like y'all, yeah, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna do whatever. But on the inside, I knew that I couldn't keep going the way that I was because I was miserable
Hmm.
and just hated life. I mean, um, so I spent like a month of just straight up figuring out, okay, who am I? Like, who is Kate Watson?
Hmm.
And I found out that I am a masterpiece, that I am beautifully and wonderfully made, and that nobody can tell me different, and that I am meant and destined for great things. And I was going to figure out what that was. And it came back to me. It was that dream that I had whenever I was little of being a rock star like my parents. And
Hmm.
at 15 years old, I knew that I wanted to pursue music like full time. And,
Hmm.
it's that conversation that you're like, oh, shoot. And I sat my parents down and I said, okay, look, I'm not going to college. I'm going to pursue music full
Hmm.
time. And then you wait for it. You're like, oh, like, what do I do? And they looked at me and they said, Kate, we believe in you. We know this is what you're supposed to do, and we will support you 100%. And
Hmm.
so at 15 years old, professionally, I started pursuing music with all the different avenues of I got vocal lessons. I, started trying to play as many shows as I could for free, and all that different kind of stuff. And I mean, you start with nothing. You're begging people to play.
Hmm.
Um, and, you know, I gave up all the sports because I loved volleyball, basketball,
Hmm.
tennis. I was a baller. Nobody better than even today. I will cross you up and I will wreck you. But um, I gave it all up because
Hmm.
I knew that this was my purpose and my mission. But not only just to do it, just to play.
Hmm.
It's bigger than that for me. Um, I personally wanted to pursue music because I wanted to show people, number one, you can pursue what you love.
Yeah.
Number two, you don't have to compromise who you are and what you stand for to do that. And I wanted to set an example with my life, with
Hmm.
every choice that I make, um, and to just give people hope in whatever their situation is through my music and reach as many people with that as I can.
Well, the music's fantastic. I love your drive and determination and your attitude. It really reflects on the lyrics and the songs that you really put out there too, no doubt. And we're going to hear a couple of tunes today. I'm going to go right over to, I tell you, I love this guy. David tunes in all the way from England over there too, across the pond. We get to have a little question here. So if you got questions, feel free to leave them here on the backstage pass, the comment box. We'll get to as many as we can. David says, which songs do you enjoy singing on stage, Kate? I like that.
Okay, so it depends if you're talking about originals or covers. My original songs, my favorite song I get to do is Red Lipstick and a Cowboy Hat. Um, I save it for last. So literally, I go through my show and then at the very end, I put on my cowboy hat.
Hmm.
And everybody goes, "Oh shoot, I know what the song is." And so everybody's ready to sing it with me. And I mean, we built that thing out loud at every single
Hmm.
show because that's the one everyone's waiting for. And it's my story put into a song. I mean, it was written
Hmm.
for all those people who tried to tell me who I was and what I stood for. I mean, um, that song was written for them just to basically
Hmm.
say, like, you can't mess with me. Like, you can choose what you want to do, and you treated me a certain way, and I could choose to get revenge and, do it that way and like get you back or whatever else. But no, I choose to put on my red lipstick, my cowboy hat, and to conquer the world and to be kind to you and to
Hmm.
love you and to forgive you. So that is my favorite original. My favorite cover. Oh, this is so hard. I partially one no, okay, I'm gonna name three. Okay.
Okay.
give you 3 covers because I can't choose. Okay, so number 1, I love, getting to do Parker McCollum, Pretty Heart,
Mhm.
just because he has such an impact on me,
Mhm.
career, and my story. I love getting to dedicate that to him every single show and just basically say, "Thank you for all you've done for me," because he's the one who discovered me.
Yeah.
So, he showed up at my church one Sunday morning, and I had no idea. He came during COVID whenever nobody had anything going on. His uncle's the one who got him to come and just sent videos of me leading worship.
Mhm.
Um, it's one of the largest cowboy churches in the entire world. And basically, he showed up. I didn't know. And I'm just doing my thing up there, like legit. And I come off
Mhm.
the stage, and he walks straight up to me and
Mhm.
just sticks out his hand. He goes, "Hey, my name's Parker McCollum." I'm sitting there like, "Oh, shoot. What?" Hello. And he was like, "Kate, I came here specifically to hear you."
Mhm.
And that blew my mind all in itself. But he said, "There are tons of girls in Nashville and Texas and all over the world who can sing and who have talent, but you do something that can't be taught, and that's making connections with people."
Mhm.
And he said, "I believe in you. I think you're going to go all the way, and I want to help you get there." So, I mean, he spent hours on the phone with me and my family, just talking next steps, connections, everything. And just really encouraged me a whole bunch for someone who's made it to be so accomplished whenever he
Mhm.
does not have to take the time, but he did. And to me, like, who am I,
Yeah.
And so that was super, super cool. Jump started my career, which was the coolest thing ever. So that one. And then I'd have to say, I love bringing out Rolling in the Deep,
Mhm.
which is Adele,
Mhm.
because no one expects it. So whenever I come out here, I always start it like a cappella. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, could have had it all, rolling in the deep. You have my heart inside of your hand, but you played it to the beat. And then they start the drum beat, and
Mhm.
everyone goes, "Oh no!" Like, they start rocking out with me. And you should see these people. Like, they fully expect just like country, to have a good time. And then I bring out something that they're like, "That's my childhood right there." And it is so much fun. I mean, I think that's one of my favorite things about my shows is
Mhm.
that making those moments with people that like you remember forever. It's so much fun.
Well, you've done that in the latest single, "I Love Highway." Love everything about it. I love the
Thank
song, and definitely for everybody out there, if you've not heard that, check it out across all those digital platforms. You've got a player today, no doubt. One of your good friends, I know they're with you to join the broadcast. We're going to do the first of 2 songs today from the great Kate Watson. So I guess the single would be a good place to start, if I had to guess.
Bring it on.
So it is all yours, and it is Highway. Here we go.
Get in here. Y'all, this is my dad, Jesse Watson, the one that I have been talking up, and he is just as amazing as everything that I've said about him and more. So we're going to play Highway for y'all. This one is just about a day where everything that could go wrong did. And I know we've all had those kinds of days. And by the end of this day, I was like, you know what? Screw this. And got in my car, got on the highway, started driving. Didn't know where I was going, but I rolled down my window and let everything that was getting to me that day go right out. And I took a second to think about all the things in my life that I'm thankful for, the little things that sometimes I forget about. And once I got back home, that's how we have Highway. Hop in the truck, buckle up, heading down the back road. Grab some friends I ain't seen since when, then we're gonna take it slow. I got no agenda, I got no place, that I gotta be. Just my freedom and all this space where I long to be. I'm on that highway, cruising along playlist on a Friday. Nothing but time, feeling like I can't go anywhere under the sun. I'm having fun. I'm on that highway, where I belong on that highway. Sunroof jack, no looking back, got it on cruise control. My friends and me running wild and free, anywhere the wind blows. I got no agenda, I got no place that I gotta be. Just my freedom to know this space where I long to be. I'm on the highway, cruising around playlist on a Friday. Nothing but time, feeling like I can't go anywhere under the sun. I'm having fun. I'm on the highway, where I belong on the highway. I'm on the highway. I'm on the highway, running wild and free. I'm on the highway, cruising around playlist on a Friday. Nothing but time, feeling like I can't go anywhere under the sun. I'm having fun. I'm on the highway, where I belong on the highway. I'm on the highway. I'm on the highway.
And what's great is too in broadcasting, Kate, you spend a lot of time on that highway, no doubt, and moving around, doing remotes and all these different things. So I know a lot about it too. Actually, going out of town to College Station this weekend for another sports broadcast too. So I jammed to that in my truck. That's what's great about it. Is it just it's amazing. I love it. So the concept of this one, I love when you kind of just really do that thing where you just really dig into it and go from that like roller coaster, hit that first vocal of highway, and you kind of just really push it up to that different octave and come back down. It's really a great song. How did you come up with this one? I mean, what was the kind of the backstory of this song? Every song has a great backstory, I'm sure.
It's just about that day. I mean, it's one of those tough days,
Mm-hmm.
Whenever people face like trial, tribulation, like all these different things that just try to knock you down,
Mm-hmm.
that's where the best songs come from. You really in your feelings, like it just brings you to this place where you're ready to bring something out that everybody needs to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. You guys also did one, I believe it was right there during the pandemic. I loved the song Cabo. Tell me a little bit about it. Of course, we all think about this now because, this is traveling. I mentioned there is getting to be one of my favorite things to do. Is like, you want to go here? You want to go here? Well, yeah. I mean, pretty much after we were trapped, no pun intended, for a couple of years. But you guys did a really good job, and I love the arrangement on Cabo.
Thank you. So, I actually had someone come up to me at a show because I had talked about the song beforehand. I don't think they heard me. Basically, if you just hear a random song about Cabo, you're like, what the heck? Like, where did that come from? And so he walks up to me. He's this older man, and he's like, so please tell me you actually went to Cabo. And I was like, yes, I went to Cabo. Of course I did. And he's like, good, because otherwise you're fake. And I was like, what the? Okay. Like, this man is sassing me. Um, but yes, I actually went to Cabo, y'all, and it was my favorite vacation that I've ever been on. Um, you know, I don't know for all the people listening or whatever, or even you, if you've been to Cabo, have you?
I've been to in Mexico, Cabo. I can't really say, and I'm probably
Okay.
not even close to that, but I know it's got a little bit of the same vibes where I was there in Mexico. So definitely, some of the locations that I went to down there near Cancun, just outside of the Riviera Maya, have kind of the same feel. Love the beaches, love all the
Okay.
drinks, and a little bit everything about Cabo. So yeah, I felt the beach life such as Cabo instead of going to the actual Cabo destination. But yeah, Mexico's great down there. I love it.
Yeah. Well, whenever we went, I was 16 at the time, and it was one of those all-inclusive resorts.
Hmm.
And it was my first ever time to like experience this where I mean, I'd raise my hand and go, pina colada, no gas. And I mean showed up in my hand and I was like, this is the best thing ever. And I mean, it was just so much fun and one of those things that like I said, like if you have something hard happen to you, well, this is the opposite. This is whenever something so amazing happens to you, like you put that in a song, you like send it all out there because you want everybody to experience, what you experienced. And
Hmm.
so in that song is just basically me sharing what I got to have in Cabo.
Hmm. No, it's a great tune out there. So, folks, again, check out all the songs across the digital platforms, and then I want to put the website out there. I always do thekatewatson.com. Make sure you guys check all of that out. Hey, speaking of your dad, it's a really cool story because I love you mentioned the Lone Star Cowboy shirts there in Montgomery. Go Bears, by the way. They actually have a playoff game coming up this week there from Montgomery High School, and we'll see how things go with that. Of course, I'll say this, Kate, love Montgomery, Texas, no doubt, but this week it's going to be a tough one there against my Port Neches Groves Indians because I have
Oh,
ties there coming up down here too as well. So that should be one great football game in Southeast Texas. There's nothing like high school football, so I had to put that little plug in there for Montgomery playing at
I'm
PNG this Friday
good at
night.
both stands. I'm gonna have to take two. I'm gonna be like, okay, this half I'm with you guys, the other half I'm with
Yeah.
y'all. Love you all. Okay.
And last year, of course, people know I was at that ball game. I think it was in Baytown when PNG had defeated Montgomery. I think it was second round of the playoffs. But they're always when those two teams get together, telling what's going to happen. What I'm getting at though for the church, though, I had to put that plug in was "Forever I'm Yours" because a really beautiful song that you recorded with your dad too. And tell us about that story because I think that was something very special that people need to know about if they don't already.
So that was my first ever time in a studio. I was 12 years old. I lived in Georgia at the time, which I am born and raised in Texas for everybody who needs to know that I am. I had a year that I lived in Georgia and a year that I lived in North Carolina. Um, but it was so cool because my dad wrote that song for me whenever I was super little, or
Hmm.
wrote it. And so once I got to 12 and he was recording his album and all this different stuff for himself as an artist, he was like, I want Kate to sing this one. And it was so cool. Just an introduction for me to get to experience that for the first time.
Take me through a little bit of your performance there, which blew it away. You got that standing ovation from Lionel Richie from his version of "Hello," and just like I still remember the video. Watch it back many many times there on social media too. Great experience when you enter a competition like that too. What was that like for you? And then what was it like to get the standing O from the legend Lionel Richie?
It was scary as heck, man. I mean, I just turned 18. I did
Hmm.
the audition and um I was one of the last people to go. And I waited 14 to 16 hours in the cold Denver air, which for anybody like it is horrible for your vocal cords to be out in the
Hmm.
cold like that. And I drank 7 cups of coffee.
Mm.
By the time I went in there, I was just like, I'm here to do what I'm here to do. Okay. Like, you're about to get Kate Watson. Um, but I remember they brought me back to where, like, you get to see the other person go before you for the audition, the TV audition,
Hmm.
in front of Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm like getting to watch them go before me. Maybe I can get some tips in here. And I'm watching. They told her no, that she
Mhm.
was not going forward, and she started bawling her eyes out, and I was like, "Don't do that, Kate, don't do that." And I was like, "Oh, shoot," and they're like, "Your turn." I'm like, "Dang it, okay."
Mhm.
So I walk in there and I was like, well, all right, here we go. And I just, hey y'all, my name is Kate Watson. I just turned 18 years old, blah, blah, blah. And
Mhm.
it was so cool because my dad got to be in there with me, played the guitar for me and everything else. And he walks away and, we come out of the room and they're like, what happened? And he goes, I touched Katy Perry's hand. And I'm over here like, I got the gold ticket.
He's
It's a
pointing at it.
Still haven't washed the hand, by the way.
Still hadn't washed the hand as of today. There you go.
Um, but in that moment, like, of getting the golden ticket and stuff like
Mhm.
that, Lionel said to me, he was like, "I believe in you, and
Mhm.
I think you could win this whole entire competition."
Yeah.
Um, and he was like, "You're going to Hollywood." And I like don't cry like all the time or nothing, but like that moment for me was just like, holy crap, like this is
Mhm.
awesome. And it almost felt unreal, like a dream. And
Yeah.
so that's why whenever we went to Hollywood, I was like, I have to sing his song. Like he just completely made my entire world. And I could die happy right now, just with that. And so I sang his song Hello, and I got to
Mhm.
watch almost everybody go before me for Hollywood competition. They had us sit in there in the crowd,
Mhm.
and I remember watching, and there were some people who got up there and would do his song. And he told them, do not ever sing my song again. Get off the stage. And I mean,
Mhm.
I almost had a heart attack. I was like, oh my gosh. And the other thing was, for me at 18 years old, I was still kind of figuring out my brand and everything, like the direction that I wanted to take with this, because there's so
Mhm.
many avenues you can take with music and all of that. And so I was newly like starting in it, and all these different people here, they like work just as hard to get here, but they've been doing it for a long time.
Mhm.
Some people are seasoned, they are professionals, and that kind of stuff for kind of a newer artist, it shakes you to your core. And finding that confidence was really hard during that. Um, but they lined me up to like get ready and go on stage and do that. And I remember I watching the people in front of me. They had a camera guy, they had the camera, they gave him 5 seconds. How do you feel? And then they shove you on stage and a mic in your face. Well, I knew what I was going to say. I was
Mhm.
ready. I was prepared. And as I moved up the line, I was like, okay, I got this. I'm going to say it confident and everything else. And then the camera guy accidentally made a dirty joke as soon as I was supposed to say it. So I took that breath of like, and then I was like, oh shoot. And I started laughing, like hardcore laughing.
Mhm.
Everyone behind me was laughing. And then they shove a mic in my face, and everyone in the crowd hears me laughing like a crazy person. And they shoved me on stage, and I was like, oh, dang it. So I was like, okay. And I started like crazy dancing.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
Kate's like, you know what? I'm vibing with her right now. And so she stands up and starts dancing and having a good time with me. And I got to the middle of the stage, and Lionel looks at me. He says, what song you gonna sing? And I said, I'm gonna sing your song, Hello. And he said, this is either gonna be really good for you or really bad for you. And
Mhm.
I was just like, well, it's go big or go home, Lionel.
Yeah.
And he was like, fair enough. So, and as soon as I started singing, like I looked out into the crowd and it was almost like I blacked out. Like I cannot tell you how I did during that performance or if I missed this note or whatever else.
Mhm.
I can't tell you because I don't remember it. All I remember is as soon as I finished, I came to and I see Lionel Richie standing up out of his seat. He is clapping, he's smiling, and gave me a thumbs up. And the waterworks, man. I just was like, what is wrong with me? And I'm just bawling my eyes out. And I mean, I that was one of the coolest things in the entire world. And an honor to be on there. So,
well, the memories, we'll never forget that too. And of course, guys, if you haven't seen that, check it out because it's an idol history, no doubt. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to you guys for the second performance. I still have to ask about Remedy. So if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be having to do my justice out there. And then there was another one I love that you guys had put out as a single, Cinderella Slipper, which really means dreams can and do come true if you really believe in what you want to believe in, and you have your own, I guess, Cinderella story. So we're going to ask about those two songs and then some. My guess, would Remedy be next on this performance, or would there be another song you wanted to play? Or
this is
totally
so hard. You were making me choose between my baby. Okay, we're gonna go with Remedy because
All
it
right.
just came out, and we are partnering with a foundation.
Mhm.
It's called. Let me look up the name because I don't want to get this wrong. Hope for Widows, I believe.
Okay.
We just confirmed everything today, so that's why I'm like, oh shoot.
Mhm.
But it's basically they help with widows who've lost, someone and lost
Mhm.
their husband and different things like that. And for me, that's what this whole song was about. Um, it's about losing your remedy. So, that can be a husband, that can be a
Mhm.
family member, that can be a pet. It can be an object that you were given when a meaningful time, something you hold dear and close to your heart. And the song is about losing that, and that thing, that person, that whatever it was that gave you joy, that you clung to in the hard times, that just gave you life, that it's gone. And now it's just a memory that haunts you. And we've all had that in some sort of way, whether it is smaller or bigger.
Mhm.
We can all relate to that. And so what we did was like just put that feeling into a song. And
Mhm.
I have a friend. This is one reason I wanted to partner with um, something that means something for widows or something like that, was because my friend who I knew whenever I was younger growing up, uh, she had a high school sweetheart.
Mhm.
They got married and everything else. They were newly married. She's very young, and they found out she was pregnant. Well, the husband got COVID and
Mm.
died.
Man.
And so I wanted to be able to help just tell their stories and give
Mhm.
them a chance to have something to relate to give them healing in some way or hope or
Mhm.
whatever it may be for them. This song is about and what it's for. So this is Remedy.
There we go.
I can't stand it here alone. Echoes of lost love still stirring in this hole. Like a sickness I can't beat, it's killing me. My heart won't let you go. Not as long as I know your sweet love is a remedy for everything. And your touch is all I need to set me free. The remedy. This empty bedroom seems so dark. Memories of how it was just tearing me apart. And if these walls could speak, I know the one thing they would say would stop the pain. Just stop the pain. Your sweet love your sweet love is the remedy for everything, and your touch is all I need to set me free. The remedy, the remedy, the remedy.
Now, people know why I do this show a lot too. Music is powerful, and man, if you can't feel that, then that's a beautiful song, and it's done well by the Kate Watson out there. The beautiful Kate Watson, very talented. Check her out at thekatewatson.com. Remedy is the latest single. Make sure you guys go get that nationwide, and just give me goosebumps up and down my spine right there, no doubt. And you know, it's funny. I did go to the chiropractor today to get kind of readjusted, Kate. So that song, I played it while I was sitting there face down with the TENS unit on my back, and I had to kind of make sure the back was get back in the equilibrium in line, as they say. But also, too, I did want to put out there, people can check it out in Conroe this coming, actually tomorrow. Keep forgetting today's the 7th from the weekend with the Astros party this weekend. But tomorrow night, Remedy official music video release live at the Table in Conroe. Is it Madeley? Madeley? How you say it?
Madeley. I know. It's
Madeley. I always get it wrong. I do.
Yeah.
And I haven't been up there. I know where it is in Conroe. I just didn't forget that too. But the official music video release tomorrow live there. Check it out. And also, you guys are going to be at Third Rail Harvest Hall in Grapevine on the 11th of November, and the 13th is coming up November. The Texas Country Music Association Awards Show in Fort Worth, Texas. Make sure you guys do check it out at thekatewatson.com. We'll come back and talk about Cinderella Slipper. We got to get a word in for a quick word from Bangtail Whiskey. I do interviews. I just love doing what I do, and just from sometimes forget to punch the sponsor shows here too as well, and get a word in for bangtail.com, and of course easyliquor.com. Your chance to get your holiday drink on responsibly with Bangtail Whiskey and have a glass of everything out there with our friends over at Bangtail. Coming right back with Kate Watson. Here it is, the Backstage Pass, live on the YouTube channel and at the Sports Guys podcast.com. I'm still going to ask Kate about the Astros and all that good stuff and where she was. And I know she was at a game a few weeks ago with her jersey on and all that good stuff. I've not stopped wearing this hat since I got it last night. And we're having a good time here on the show. We're going to come back and talk Cinderella Slipper and lots more. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show again tomorrow. A couple of great shows for you. About 3:30, the former frontman of the band Little Texas, Porter Howell. He used to do all those great songs, God Bless Texas, and of course, everything out there that was Little Texas in the 90s. Porter Howell's going to join us, talk about a project he's put out there with a new album coming out this Friday, November 11th. And of course, another great, everybody knows Daryl Worley. Yeah, Daryl Worley's coming on this show tomorrow with one of the great songwriters and musicians of our generation, Bernie Nelson. We're partnering up with a company called Full Circle Moments, LLC.com. We're selling tickets out there. Once you guys get out, have a good time this Friday night. The Veterans Day show coming up this Friday, November 11th with Full Circle Moments, LLC.com. Get your tickets. Daryl Worley and Bernie Nelson at Pedrati's Ranch in San Antonio, Texas. So get out there. Always fun times. All right, tell me all about Cinderella Slipper, because I love this one. You guys did so much with it, and it kind of shares that story for the country girl out there, and even for the country guy too as well. You realize that dream, if you really believe in it, and dreams do come true. You guys had fun with this one. Tell me all about it.
So Cinderella Slipper is the introduction to Kate Watson. It's the first song of the 6-song EP that I'm dropping. And basically, I was the only girl in the family. So, I mean, I have 5 guy cousins. I have a brother. So every time we get together for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for whatever it was, they're like, "Let's go play football." And I'm like, "Cool, I'll be there."
Cool.
Like, I'm like, "All right, you're gonna lose."
Mhm.
So, I was that like tomboy type girl that just like down for anything, but at the same time, like, uh, everyone kept telling me, "Well, you're either a tomboy or like, you're a pretty princess girl that likes pink." And I'm like, "Blue's my favorite color, okay?" But I do like to get dressed up, and I did all that kind of stuff. And so, that's what I wanted to like say with Cinderella Slipper is like, I'm Kate Watson, and I do both.
Mhm.
And just encourage that for everybody else out there. Like, be true to who you are. Don't let somebody put you in a box, tell you it's one or the other. Like, if you are being you, then that's what matters. And
Mhm.
that's what Cinderella Slipper, your Cinderella Slipper story, like, that is what it's about. It's just being yourself. So,
Yeah, it's a beautiful song, no doubt. And I know mentioned you had a chance to step on stage with some of the big acts out there, no doubt. I was going to ask you about that with Josh Ward, and recently we just talked with Joe Nichols here on the program, John Wolf and Pat Green coming up. I mean, obviously the Bellamy brothers, Tina Carter. What's it been like to step on stage with so many of these big names, these big acts, and support them at these live shows?
oh my gosh. I mean, to go from like way back in the day, like playing free shows and begging to play, and now I'm still like working my butt
Mhm.
off to like play these different shows and like all that different kind of stuff. Um, but it's just like, dang, like, yes, I worked for this, I earned this, and I still have so far to go. But like, this is just a part of the journey, a part of the like reaping what you sow,
Mhm.
all the sacrifice, all the whatever. Because in high school, I didn't go to all the different, parties or anything like that. I was busy in the grind.
Mhm.
All my weekends were taken up, all my during the week. If I wasn't doing school, I was doing music. And so, it's like, this is amazing. And then getting to meet these people, I'm like, yes, you've done it. You've made it. Like, I always try to ask them, like, do you have any advice for me as an artist, as a person who's working hard and doing this? Like, what can I get from you to just help me in this? And um I've gotten some really great things from some really talented people. So it's really just an honor and really, really fun.
No doubt too, and as we close this year with a few weeks left in it, and a vacation time for most people coming up too, and we enter 2023. What are you most looking forward to? You mentioned that EP project, no doubt, with Cinderella Slipper kind of leading that off. I know you got to be excited about dropping this full length album, right? This EP.
Oh my gosh. You know that getting in the studio is not cheap at
No, it's
all.
not.
And oh yeah. So before like last year and everything else, like I was doing this all myself. I was working 5 different jobs to make it happen and playing 17 shows a month, which is bad for you. Like your vocal cords just die, And so um I was very blessed to get some investors to sign on and everything else. And so I was able to make music that had no limitations. Like
Hmm.
I was able to just be creative and have something that truly is just completely me, um, you know, and spend the money to make it right. And so uh, with this 6 song EP, I'm actually already working on the next 6 song EP while this is in the middle of dropping.
Wow.
Yes, so um, I am so excited to just release music, give people a chance to get to know me through it, and reach people and lives through it.
It's great too, and you've had so many great nominations. I mentioned new female vocalist of the year and the future Faces winner this year for 2022. So everything, I'm not surprised. Like I said, when I saw you out there at Riverfest this year, it was like this girl is onto something. She's going places, and we're gonna get her here on the show at some point. Just so good to catch up today too, because man, it's been a great ride. And I can't wait for this new music to come out and really affect people in a lot of great ways too, no doubt. And I got to ask you as I get into rapid fire. I mentioned the hat. I haven't taken it off, and I was in line with the pennant, the flag, the jerseys, the shirts, all that good stuff today. This Houston Astros story has been a blessing, Kate, for all of us. I mean, World Series champions for all of us, for fans.
gosh,
the
yes.
diehard ones such as me and you, it's sunk in. Here it is Monday, and we're going, man, we're just a few days from Veterans Day. Thanks to all our veterans out there for the dedication, sacrifice they give to our country. But has this sunk in for you? Because I saw some Instagram stuff where you had the jersey on. You got to go to a game a few weeks ago, and I didn't get to do the playoff ride, but I did go to about 10, 11 or so for the regular season. And this is a pretty cool thing for Houston and for our town, right?
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I believe in them. I know that they are winners. And so whenever they bring that to the table and just crush it. I'm like, yes, like these are my boys. It's almost if I'm on the fields out there with them, doing this. I'm like, bring me out there. Come on, coach, put me in. But I cannot just I'm so proud of him, and I love the coach that they have. I loved his speech that he gave after the game. I know that had to have just touched so many lives with what he said about just with people who were pursuing dreams and chasing things that he always wanted to do this and everything else and ended up getting the opportunity, but also getting to win. That he was like, this is amazing. And then he talked about the rookie, right? That he probably last year had no idea that this is where he would be. But, and that, I mean, it almost brought tears to my eyes because I just was like, you know what? I needed that. Thank you for sharing. And I'm sure a lot of other people did too. And I'm just proud of all of them. They worked hard for this. So.
Sure did. And honestly, I mean, Jeremy Pena, Dusty Baker, everything from, Justin Verlander, the whole squad. David Hensley, everybody, Chas McCormick, everybody, Ryan Presley stepping up. And the rookie had an impact on his team and rubbed off on those veterans. The veterans rubbed off on him. Great ride, no doubt, and just good to get out there and get that second championship in the last 6 years. And I can finally use the word, Kate, and say dynasty because that's what they are. And it's been, I had to hold on for that for a second until we got that second championship, but they did. And finally we can say there's a good chance to run it back in 2023. I'm going to go ahead and say that. And, as a guy who gambles a little bit with sports gambling and a little bit here and there, not to the extreme of Mattress Mac after what he won, $75 million, but like to have fun with it. And if I was a betting man, I would say 2023, you're going to hear from the Houston Astros again, no doubt about it. In your fun time, what do you enjoy doing kind of away from music?
I love going out, getting to play basketball, volleyball, tennis, and really just put all my energy into sports. I really do miss playing whenever I did, way back when. But music is my love. Sports is just something that I do to help get stressed out or, that kind of stuff. I also love card games, like spades. That's one of my favorites. I love just family time, getting to play guitar, getting to just basically campfire style, everybody just be a part and sing around and, that sort of thing. My mom will get the djembe out. We'll have a good time. I'd say those are my favorite things. I had someone ask me if I liked shopping, and I told them I was like, no, get out. I don't like shopping. I hate shopping, actually. So.
Well, I knew you loved sports, no doubt. So I said she's the perfect fit for this show, Grand Slam of sports and music. So that's why we do what we do here on the show, plus all the football and baseball stuff that we get to rag on and have fun with too at the same time. Kate, I love it so much. Remedy is out there across all the digital platforms nationwide. Make sure you guys go get it. And, while you're out there, I've seen the swag online. I got my Astros swag. Get some Kate Watson swag while you're at it at thekatewatson.com. And I got a t-shirt for you, just so you know, a Backstage Pass t-shirt I've got to send you. So we'll talk about that off the air. And I got to get one of those. You send me one of those Kate Watson shirts. I need to rock one of those here in Beaumont, Texas, where I'm at. So it's where I'm at too. I love the designs, and guys, check it out. And of course, the new music at thekatewatson.com. I appreciate the time. Looking forward to connecting when the EP comes out again. Hope you enjoyed your visit with me, and we got to do this again.
Absolutely.
Had so much fun, no doubt. You guys check her out at thekatewatson.com, and make sure you check out Remedy and also Cinderella Slipper across all those digital platforms. We're back tomorrow. Porter Howell, Daryl Worley, Bernie Nelson, big shows tomorrow here on the Backstage Pass. Until then, have a great night. We'll see you soon.